Gennady Mokhnenko is on a mission.
Статистика говорит следующее, что если в каждой церкви христиан...
The statistics show that if 1 or 2 Christian families will take 1 orphan, we will have a world without orphans.
Mokhnenko is a pastor from eastern Ukraine. Back in 1998, he saw firsthand the plight of children living on the streets and in orphanages in his hometown of Mariupol.
Я просто не знаю, как я...
I just didn't know how I could have left them on the streets. When I saw their eyes, I understood the Father's heart of God. It was a crazy idea, but I knew we had to do something.
What he and his wife Lena did was remarkable. Over 18 years, they've become parents to 32 children. That's right, 32. Most are adopted.
My adopted children were living on the streets. Some of them were as young as 4 and 5, some as young as 2. But we knew if we didn't take them off the streets, most of them would be dead or in prison.
Today, the Mokhnenkos run the largest rehabilitation program for street youth in Ukraine.
Nobody needs to adopt 32 children like we did. My family is not the norm. But I strongly believe there are enough Christian families in the world who can adopt 1, maybe 2, and then there will not be any orphans left in this world.
Mokhnenko took that message to Chiang Mai, Thailand, where 450 key orphan care leaders met for the first ever global forum for a world without orphans.
This is serious.
Ruslan Maluta helped organize the gathering.
Our purpose is very simple. It's to activate, connect, and equip the body of Christ toward this vision of every child having a permanent, nurturing, and safe families.
Maluta believes churches and Christian organizations have to change their approach from investing in orphanages to investing in families.
It's not easy. You cannot just close an orphanage. The message is not let's close all institutions. That would actually be a wrong idea. We need to change the way people think first.
Craig Greenfield works among vulnerable children in Asia. He says the change has to start with faith-based groups.
Unfortunately, it is still Christian missions and Christian organizations that are perpetuating this model of orphanages. In large secular development organizations, they have not supported or done orphanages for many, many years.
The change is happening, albeit slowly, says Rebecca Nape, who works with a network of Australian churches helping strengthen children's rights to a family.
There is a growing awareness taking place within the church that this actually isn't the best way to care for children, and that a lot of the children being cared for in orphanages or other types of residential care aren't actually orphans. They're children with families, they're children with parents. They're there for reasons such as poverty, disability, or access to education.
But this paradigm shift is not without its critics. Here in Chiang Mai, in the northern part of Thailand, home to roughly about 1.6 million people, there are 600 private orphanages, and many of them, like this one, are run by Christians.
I
grew up in an orphanage as well, so my desire is to take care of orphaned children.
Manop Chow Chalern runs Bandak Di Children's Home. His family was too poor, so they sent him away.
Since there was no school in my village, my parents sent me to an orphanage where I was able to get an education.
He admits it wasn't ideal. Now he and his wife tried to create a family-like atmosphere for the 30 children they care for. He says they only take those who are truly orphaned.
The truth is children should live with their family. But if that can't happen, for whatever reason, there has to be places like this that can be another choice for them.
Back at the forum, participants from 60 countries attended workshops and seminars on raising awareness of family and community-based care. Several speakers addressed the forum, including our very own 700 Club co-host Terry Mewson, a mother of 7, 5 who are adopted.
1. You're welcome. That was good English.
Mewson started Orphans Promise in 2005. She learned early on that building and filling an orphanage wasn't always the best thing to do.
People, I think, still come to me sometimes and say, well, I'd like to build an orphanage. Can we do that through Orphans Promise? And we say, well, you can help us build families and you can help us help children, but we're not really building orphanages. And the orphanages that exist, we're helping to change how they think and feel into that family pod mode.
Orphans Promise works in 60 countries.
So, Eliona, how many ways can we prepare potatoes?
I told you she's resourceful.
Musin says while this new shift doesn't always guarantee that children will have healthy families to go back to, it's important that the body of Christ steps in to fill the gaps.
Let's step up as the people of God in whatever culture we're in, and let's take those children into a family settings. Let's help them find wholeness so that we're creating a world of healthy families.
Maluta is excited to see more and more people embrace this new mindset of orphan care.
Here is the great part about this vision, that not everyone can adopt, not everyone can foster, not everyone can even engage in a substantial way in some sort of program, but everyone can do something. Everyone can be advocate, everyone can pray, everyone can champion, and anyone who spent even some time in this field knows that it's a long and complicated process, but we have to start somewhere.
The forum, he says, is a new phase of that long and difficult journey toward a world without orphans. George Thomas, CBN News, Chiang Mai, Thailand.